Hey everyone, Eric here from Daily Entomologist. I hope you're all doing fantastic. This time I'm going to do a two-part video on pinning insects. The first video is going to be more general insects. I'm going to go through a beetle, fly, bees, grasshopper, and true bugs. And the second video, I am going to show you how I spread butterflies and grasshoppers. So each one will have its own thing, and yeah. So hope you enjoy. Alright, so as I said before, this first video I'm going to show how to pin a beetle, bees, wasps, true bugs, and grasshoppers. And in the second video I am going to show how to spread butterflies, moths, as well as spreading grasshoppers, and I'll explain that when I get to that point. So first one I'm going to start with going to be this beetle right here. Alright, so we got the beetle situated, and where you want to pin beetles is in the right elytra, which is the right wing cover, up towards the front. So to help keep the camera more in focus, I'm just going to pin it right here. And you can see you want to keep the insect straight on it like that. So I'm going to push the pin down, and if you want, use a pinning block to get it at the height you want. But personally for me, that's too high, so I like to put my insets down just a tad. That way there's enough room for my fingers. Okay, so then the actual pinning the insect is done. Now the rest is basically however you want for it to look. So you can maneuver the legs however you want it, make it look more natural. Or however you want it, because I have a lot of insects in my collection. I like to kind of make it natural but also save as much room as possible. So I'm going to leave it like that. Alright. Alright, so up next are true bugs. And these ones you pin a bit differently. Instead of through the wing cover in true bugs, you pin through the scutellum. And the scutellum is the little triangle. I don't know if it might be hard to see in this light, but right underneath the thorax and like in between the two wing covers is a little triangle, and that triangle is the scutellum, and that's where you pin true bugs. as in all the other pinning, you want to make sure it's as straight as possible. And you pin right through the scutellum. Arrange it to the height you want. Then you got the true bud pin. And like the beetle, you can move the blades however you want, position it however lifelike you want it to be, and we'll let that sit and dry. Alright, so next I'm going to do bee. And to pin bees, you want to put the pin through the thorax, right off center of the middle of the thorax. So what I like to do is I put the pin in, and I push down, get it to the height I want. Then because like bees have abdomens that tend to sag, I keep them right on the, pressed against the styrofoam so the abdomen stays up and doesn't sag on me while it dries. So that way when it dries, the abdomen stays up and it just looks a lot nicer. And then once again, you can move the blades, antenna around however you like, and position them how you want them. Alright, up next is a fly, and this is a pretty dark fly, and I don't think it shows up in the camera very well, but basically it's the same thing as bees. Put it right through the thorax. As straight up and down as you can. Get it to where you want it. Then, like bees, I hold them flush against the styrofoam to hold the abdomen up. And then the blades you position however you want, just like any other time. Alright, up next we have grasshoppers. This pinning grasshopper is not going to be spread because it doesn't have to be. But grasshoppers, you pin through the thorax again, and as you can kind of see, if it gets into focus, there's a ridge that goes down the middle of the thorax. And the pin, you want to pin on the right side of that ridge. Or on the right side there. Sorry, this thing's really sucks at keeping focus. But again, you pin it down to where you want. Then what I do, I pull the hind blades out because the hind blades a lot of times help in ID. And then, well, this one's actually stained pretty good for me. Then I just, if I have to, I put the pins in. And I have the hind blades stay like that. So then you can see the femora and the tibia colors and patterns and stuff. And You can also position the front blades if you want, the antenna, and so on and so forth. But that's basically how I do my grasshoppers regular pinning way. Alright, so up next we have pointing. And what pointing is, you get a pin and you stick it through a piece of paper in the shape of a triangle. And I know it's not coming in, but no, kind of. And then what you do is you put glue on the tip of the triangle, and then you glue the tiny insets that are too small to be pinned onto the tip of the point. This is the best way to pin ants. As I started zoom out a little. You can see the ants pointed on the glued on the points there. But for this demonstration, I'm going to point a tiny fly down there. And to get these points, you use a point puncher that actually does triangles. And then glue, you can just use regular Elmer's school glue. All you do is just basically, I'm going to do this off screen so it just helps stay in focus. Put a little glue on the tip of the point. Put it on the side just like that. Then you can carefully adjust it any way you see fit. So then you basically have the inset on the point. Then you set that aside and let that dry for a while. And that's the run through of everything. I do hope it's actually came in through alright. So that's the end of part 1. Part 2, as I said before, is going to be the spreading of butterfly. Show you how to spread a butterfly and spreading a grasshopper. So stay tuned for that.